mother who's poured our heart, this one example, poured her heart into these children, and actually was one of the only Muslim families in that whole, not just city, the whole state that they were living in. And this child, all of her children, became Hufad of the Quran. From her hifz, there wasn't like a Quran school over here or an imam to go to. This is her doing this. And then when the kid got to high school, they messed with his brain. Muslims are this, and Muslims are that, and Muslims the other thing. As soon as he got to college, he bounced. And she was devastated because she was somebody who had studied Islam and somebody who was a Hafiz of the Quran and gave her kids Islam and gave her kids the Quran. And how could this happen? And everybody tried to, this sheikh talked to him, and this sheikh talked to him, and this sheikh talked to him. Not interested. And we kept telling her, you gave him so much. If he veers that way, know that Allah one day will come back, and we don't know how and where. Just keep on making dua. Ya Hadi. He started to party and to go off, and I mean, just so different than someone who was literally a Hafiz of the Quran. And one day it was Ramadan. He was not fasting. He's not interested. He's not doing any of this stuff. But he meets some other students on campus who are practicing Muslims, and they're fasting and so on. And so he's just eating with them. And then it's time for them to pray. And they realize that none of those kids have any Quran related. So they start Aisha, and he's not interested, right? And then they have Tarawih. And the ruling in the Hanafi school is you can't read from a mushaf. You have to recite from memory, from your heart. They look at each other, they don't have enough Quran amongst themselves. So they say, does anybody here have any Quran memorized? And out of nowhere, they don't know anything about him being anything. They don't know anything about his history. And so out of nowhere, he goes, I'm a Hafiz. They're like, the party kid is the Hafiz? You know, mashallah. And they literally push him up. This is a true story. I'm not making this up. Wallahi, it's a true story. They push him up, you know, and he's like, I haven't prayed him forever. I haven't, like, go take a shower. Like, come back. You know, they're in a dorm, mashallah. And so literally, and he says it was like, he tells the story later. He says it was like riding a bike. If you haven't ridden it for a long time, you feel like you can't get on it. But once you start, and suddenly you're soaring. As soon as he stood up there, and the whole mushaf, like it came back to him. SubhanAllah. He took his tawbah, he made his tawbah, and he came back at the hands of these other kids in college. Allah guides whom He wills, how He wills, when He wills. It is our job to teach and do our best that we can do, and then keep calling on Al-Hadi. Please, sisters, don't give up. Please don't have these blocks and say, I'm too far gone, my kids are too far gone, this is too far away, I'm not good enough. None of this is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.